This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. It is a practice that's been going on for 5,000 years and has supported so many over that time, obviously, in terms of improving their health, giving them clarity, just overall wellness. I'm talking about Ayurveda. She is our expert when it comes to this topic and wellness in general, holistic healing. Ayurveda, it can even prevent disease and illness. She's got a workshop coming up on this. We're going to talk about some of the principles of Ayurveda once again. And she is the person behind Advanced Healing Wellness Center, which really emphasizes a holistic approach to lifestyle and also healing. And she is back with us. Dr. Alda Sainfort is on the program. How are you doing today?
I'm great, Steve. How are you?
Real good, real good. Learned so much, even the times that we've gotten together. And I heard about Ayurveda. I knew a little bit about it. You've gone into such detail and just opened my eyes, all of us, to what this is. So much to the fact that you do retreats for weeks at a time in India, just to learn, reset your body based on Ayurveda principles and so much more. Where should we start? Where should we start? And this is, all talking about the workshop you have coming up, which we'll get to. Should we start with the doshas?
Absolutely.
What are they first? Let's start right there.
Yeah. The doshas come from the Panchamahabhutas. The Panchamahabhutas are the 5 great elements. From those elements come the doshas. And there are 3 doshas. Each dosha is a combination of 2 elements. So there's Vata dosha, Pitta dosha, and Kapha dosha. And they all are related to the body and depends on the constitution, the dosha. So there is a certain pattern, a certain behavior you can expect to see in a person with the dosha.
How do you determine what somebody's dosha is?
We feel the pulse and we also question them. So based on the finding of the pulse, how the pulse is felt, and we are able to determine the dosha. And if we don't have access to the person to feel the pulse, we can also ask certain questions, and those questions are leading questions to help us understand and know what dosha, the constitution, the person is.
So what I've learned is that Ayurveda, for me, seems very closely connected to principles of Chinese medicine, because taking somebody's pulse is done, you can find an acupuncturist or somebody specializes in Chinese medicine. Mm-hmm. That's one of the starting points. And it's so funny, back in the day, you go to the doctor, they check your pulse. Now you're lucky, if they even say hi to you. in our world, you have 11 minutes with the doctor, and I never realized how impactful just taking somebody's pulse is. But are there a lot of principles here that are within Chinese medicine? And what are you getting from the pulse? What's coming up there?
They're very interesting things. Is when we connect with the person and we feel the pulse, we are not just measuring heart rate and respiratory rate, which in Western medicine, when you feel the pulse, is 2 things basically you're looking for. But with Eastern medicine, especially as you mentioned, Chinese medicine and Ayurveda, you are connecting with the internal organs. And each position of the pulse, when you feel it, it connects you with that organ. It tells you what happened, what is going on with that organ. And if it's fast, if it's slow, if it's stagnated, And that tells us the constitution and also the imbalance because we have to go to different layers. You have to go very deep and very superficial to be able to know the constitution or the imbalance.
But when you take somebody's pulse, let's say somebody's nervous at that moment. I'm just throwing hypothetical stuff out. It's going to change the pulse.
Yeah.
How do you connect that at that moment?
Yeah, someone who's very nervous, it may feel very thin, very fast, like a snake. It moves like a snake. And this is someone who would be of Vata constitution. And Vata constitution is responsible for the central nervous system. So everything that moves, and in the central nervous system, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of neurons, a lot of impulses. So that can be symbolized by Vata constitution, and it feels like a snake, irregular, very
Wow.
thin, moving pulse. Yeah.
Mm. Also, with Chinese medicine, the comparison here focuses a lot on the spleen, the liver, that really impacts our health more than we even realize. Is
Mhm, mhm.
Ayurveda pretty much the same there too when it comes to those?
Yes, yes, it is the same. It's just that different terminologies. But when you look at the similarity with Chinese medicine and Indian medicine, the similarity very, yeah, is the same.
Hmm. I'm just going to throw this out because I'm just curious.
Mhm.
Chinese medicine also, when somebody is working with someone else and they're well versed in Chinese medicine, the tongue, the
Yeah.
condition of the tongue is somewhat of a big deal, like the pulse. Is it kind of the same thing in Ayurveda?
Yeah, it is the same in
Wow.
Ayurveda because when you look at the tongue, each organ has a position in the tongue. So when you look at the tongue, if you're looking for something in the liver, so you're gonna look at the position of the position of the liver in the tongue, and you're able to see what's going on.
Wow.
And same thing if you're looking at the lung or the heart, the positions of those organs on the tongue will be able to share a lot of insight and see what is happening. Yeah.
Wow. Well, the common denominator here for Ayurveda and Chinese medicine, they've been around for centuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a reason because they support, they help, they heal. Um, what else can you tell us about the dosha before we move in to some of the other things that you're doing in the workshop?
Is there anything specific you want to know about the doshas or?
Um, when you said that you talk about the pulse and then you talk to somebody to learn about
Mhm,
them, lifestyle,
mhm,
um, how does that connect to what the dosha would be? Like, if give us an example. You took somebody's pulse, it is what it is, and then you
mhm.
ask them questions. What might some of those questions be, and what might the answers, how might the answers point to what dosha they are?
Okay. Yeah, I can give you a quick example. For
Sure,
example,
sure.
one of the questions we can ask them about when they were younger, like teenager or 13, I would say 10, 9 years old, you can ask them, how was your body type? Were you chubby? Were you very skinny? Were you very active?
Great question.
What your
I already know
personality
my
type
answer.
was.
I already
I
got
know
my
you know.
right away. It's like, oh, all right. Um, how does that connect? How does that
Yeah.
connect, to the dosha?
Well, that tells you if it's someone who's very thin and very active, that's a typical Vata constitution. And if it's someone who's a little bit chubby and they have a tendency to be slower to react versus the other constitution I'm going to talk about. So, this is a Kapha constitution, you know.
Mm.
And when you see someone, even as a child, you could see them, they have like a very leadership personality. These are the Pitta, very dominant, controlling leadership type. These are the Pittas.
Why? Okay, so what if your body type is different now than it was when you were a child?
Good question. If it is different now, that is the imbalance we look into. It's because it's out of balance. Because your innate constitution doesn't change at all. It's the imbalance that changes. Yeah. So
Now,
you,
when we say imbalance, it's usually perceived as something not
mm-hmm,
good, out of
mm-hmm,
balance.
mm-hmm.
Um, I'll be honest. Okay, this is me as a
Yeah,
child. I
yeah.
was I was overweight, pudgy, got picked on, very picky about what I ate. Only ate a couple of
Mm-hmm,
things back then. Um, I'm more fit and active now.
mm-hmm.
I eat pretty much anything except seafood, or fried calamari. I will occasionally. Um, but I'm different then. I would say if I was still that now, that wouldn't be good. So, that being said, where would the imbalance be?
Based on your description, it seems like you have, that is based on what you share. You, as a child, you were more like a kapha vata, little chubby kapha, picky eater, that's vata, typical vata.
Hmm.
And then now you are different in a way that the chubbiness is not there, right?
Well, a
Are
little
you
bit.
a little bit, and you're still a picky eater?
Um, Slightly, I think I'm average. I wouldn't say I'm very picky, but I would say average. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't just, you know, chocolate covered cockroaches. Yeah, let's try those. Not going to do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
again, with the seafood thing, I have friends, lobster ulcer and
yeah,
crap. It doesn't do anything for me. Not my thing.
yeah, yeah. Okay, your case may not be an imbalance, it may be your personal choice, choices you make to
Hmm.
change something or to prevent. And again, that is what Ayurveda is about. It's all about prevention. So there are certain choices you can make to prevent. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
We're going to talk about prevention in a moment.
Mhm.
In the workshop you're doing, the doshas and just the overall starting point is one thing you're
Mhm.
going to take care of. And
Mhm.
there's three aspects to the workshop. What's number two?
Okay, so I would like to say the workshop is really to bring awareness of Ayurveda and also of spiritual healing. So it is an Ayurvedic spiritual healing workshop. Workshop. It's going to be done in three series, and it is done specifically to sponsor the Sufi event. There's gonna be a Sufi International event in Florida, December 3rd to December 8th, and 100% of the proceed will be donated to the Shaduli Sufi community for the event.
Wonderful. Wow.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing that. I was not aware. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I also invite you to donate.
I, I'm I'm gonna pass that up. I'm going to India on your next retreat. That's why I have my sights set. Uh, this is just an eye opener. And I've always heard it was so supportive, even just the word Ayurveda. And I first started learning about it maybe 3 years ago, somewhere around there. But when you take a look at some of the principles, and we'll get to the prevention in a moment, just
Mhm,
profound.
mhm, mhm.
What else do you want people to know?
Okay, so talking about prevention, what I'd like to share with everyone is that illnesses or diseases is something most can be prevented and through the choices we make. Let's say, for example, we can make that change to the eating habit. Instead of eating very late at night, heavy meals, we can change that. We can eat the very early in smaller portions and eat seasonal food based on your constitution. It's very important to know your constitution so you know what to eat. And there are certain rituals we do daily. We call them dinacharya, like daily ritual, also seasonal ritual. And that is very helpful in balancing and maintaining the doshas balanced. And most importantly, the detoxification and rejuvenation is called panchakama. It's something everybody should have at least once a year for prevention and also for healing. We notice that in the Western world, people do abuse the body. They cleanse everything that they have. You know, cars are cleaned very frequently. Some people clean their houses frequently or not, but
Hmm.
at least once in a while. But we don't do that for our own body. It's like letting it go out of balance, and then we'll take care of that. And that's what Ayurveda is teaching. Ayurveda teaches that if you take care of it, you prevent things from happening and you keep the doctors away and you're healthier.
Now, would you say that, many of us want to eat well, but we're really not sure what we should be eating? Sometimes we call upon a nutritionist or somebody who integrative medicine professional
Mhm.
to identify what we should eat. Ayurveda, once you identify somebody's characteristics, that we can figure out
Mhm.
what we should be eating based on that. Is that how
That's
it works?
correct. Yeah, that's correct. And then with nutrition, the Western approach is one size fits all because it's about counting calories. But the Eastern approach is about your body's need, your body constitution. What do you need? It's not about counting, oh, I'm eating this piece of cake, there's 20 calories in it or whatever. But with Ayurveda is, do you need the cake? What's in it? Sugar, white flour, do you need it? Is it best or good for your body? Then if it is not, you avoid it. Instead of eating cake, you can eat a piece of fruit.
How accurate would you say it is once you identify, somebody's characteristics and go a little bit deeper into Ayurveda? Is it pretty accurate in terms of determining? And do you do this, determining a call it a meal plan for somebody based on what their doshas are and their characteristics?
Yes. When
Hmm.
you go to any Ayurvedic practitioner or any Ayurvedic physician, the consultation, what we call health assessment or constitutional assessment, is basically to help you, support you how to eat. So we often give them a list of food to favor and a list of food to eat less, depends on the finding of the constitutions. Yeah.
Alda, take me back to the moment where you first discovered Ayurveda and where you realize that this is making a difference in my life. Can you think back to that time where, maybe
I
you came to,
can.
yeah, all right, tell.
Yeah. Before I learned about Ayurveda, I used to be very more erratic in my meal with my meals. And I used to eat a lot of dry food, dehydrated food. I used to love crackers. I used to love popcorn, salad. Then finding out my constitution doesn't like that. All those food that I preferred, they were not the best for me. So I had to change that. I still love popcorn, but I don't eat it. I'm sorry. And crackers, I completely avoid them. Anything that's dehydrated, because with my constitution, there's already lots of dryness. I'm prone to dryness, so I have to avoid those to stay um, pretty lubricated.
Wow. Wow, interesting. I know for me, I don't like dry things. I
Yeah.
don't like crackers, but like even popcorn, I'll have a handful. I'm like, yeah, I'm good with that. And then, of course, you can load it up with butter, but why? I mean, now you're,
Yeah.
popcorn, fiber, not really bad for you. However, now you
Mhm,
add the other
mhm,
stuff. What are you doing? You're adding moisture to the popcorn with the butter. Um, and I try to make salads, and I try
mhm,
to like them, but
mhm.
overall, I'm just bored. I can try, I can put anything in there, and it's like, yeah, it's okay today, but. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm one of the same characteristics. But, that's that's what I'm feeling my preference. Like I kind of stay away from those kind of things. If I'm gonna have a cracker, it's gonna have something on it, like maybe some
Hmm.
jelly or something, butter, whatever, anything. Um,
Right.
very interesting how this all works. Now, the workshop that you've got coming up, is that in person only, or is it virtual?
It's virtual and it's also in person.
Hmm,
So people who are interested to participate, they can visit our website on the event page and they will see all the details and they will see where to pay or to make their donation. And they can make a donation based on what's possible for them. And 100% of the proceed goes to the Shaduli Sufi community for the event happening in December. And it is also, it's a phenomenal event, which I will also invite everyone to participate. They can get more information. Once they connect with me, I will be able to share more information on that as well.
and this workshop, just to reiterate, it's coming up in December 2025 in
December,
Florida.
yes, December 3rd in the evening to December 8th. Yeah.
Love it.
And I would even encourage people, if you cannot participate for the entire event, at least half of it, 2 days, that's fine. They can sign up for the number of days they can participate. Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow.
Yeah.
Um, and I do want to share your website, by the way, is fantastic. So much information, so much detail, but easy to
Mhm.
understand. Um,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that you did so many retreats. Now, we mentioned earlier a retreat for Ayurveda, and I guess it would be, you know, cleansing, healing, that kind of thing. But
Mhm.
you also have a family lineage healing
Lineage.
retreat. Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Um, and what's going on with Sedona, Arizona? Because I see that on your website, and that is not the first time that I've heard that that's kind of a place for retreats. Why? What's going on?
The vortexes, the energy of the vortexes are really great in supporting healing. Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yes.
I never knew that. I just knew that they do a lot of retreats in Arizona. I spoke with somebody before who is um, a coach of
Mhm.
sorts,
Mhm.
and they live not far from Sedona. So, I mean,
Mhm.
convenient. But I didn't know there was something else going on there. So I appreciate that. Hmm.
Oh, yes. You've never been to Sedona, right?
I don't think I've ever been there.
I invite you to go with me next time.
I would love that. I am looking for reasons to go.
Keep your
Just
eye on my website so you'll see the next one is going to be next year around March, April. It's a fascinating
mm,
place for retreat, and the retreats themselves are very powerful.
mm,
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. And based on things you've told me, even going to India for a cleanse, if you will. What's your website, Alda?
www.ahwcenter.com. And my phone number is 954-900-1535.
Thank you for all
And
the
again,
insight today. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, it's okay. Yeah, again, I invite everyone who would like to participate in the workshop. The first one starts this Saturday, July 26th, and you can find that on the event page and register there.
Gotcha. Thanks for sharing everything today and giving more insight on Ayurveda. We talked about it, but it for me, and I'm sure others, crystallizes even a little bit more
Mhm.
of why this practice is so beneficial for us. And I appreciate that. Thanks again.
You're very welcome, Steve. Thank you for having me.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.